Yeah, so I'm bringing to this 12 weeks things that are from very different. Usually they are not in the same library section, this kind of thing. So I'm, as the name of Circle of Being Shadow Work, there will be a bunch of knowledge and tools and methods connected to what you'll find in spiritual bookstore, like Zen, Buddhism, Non-Duality, Advaita, Vedanta, the Fourth Way. So these are all teachings that traditionally are spirituality, and all of them, they have this element of this kind of trying to attain what is called some awakening or liberation from suffering. And an important essential is this essential element of awareness. Awareness. In modern psychology, and I mean, psychology that doesn't really deal with that so much, recently started to bring mindfulness in some psychotherapies. But anyway, so a lot of what we're going to do is connected to developing this ability to be less checked out. Also, by the way, all that I say here is not my stuff. It's not, I didn't come up with it. I didn't invent this. Also, all that I'm saying here, don't believe me. Don't believe me. It's not like church. We already have so many beliefs that are not true. Doesn't help to have now more beliefs from Mihai. So don't believe me, but however, try to be open and try to check for yourself, you know, trust your intuition, your inner guidance, your gut, and try to be open and try to verify for yourself, you know. So it's a path of verification, it's not a path of faith and belief and church. Okay, so a big part of the work that we're going to do each week is to do with practices of becoming more present, more conscious, less checked out. According to these teachings, humanity in a normal state, when we become an adult, we are far from being, we are not somehow mysterious, we are not like a tiger or like a cat or an elephant or a squirrel that they have reached full potential by themselves. Humans, for some mysterious reasons, you become 25, but we are not, we are far from full potential. Somehow it seems that nature or God made here that we have a choice. We can evolve, or we can stay as we are, or usually we devolve, we kind of get worse and more crusted and frozen. And so there's an option to evolve. So according to these teachings, left alone, we are asleep. And this sleep shows in a way that our mind is full of thoughts, and usually not nice thoughts about next vacation, but it's full of fears and worries and rehashing the past and the future. And so it's endless stream of thoughts, images, voice in the head criticizing us or upset with us or judging people, you know, all the time, a constant endless stream of thoughts. Everybody is into that. And so we are constantly not conscious of the present experience. We are somewhere else, past, future, in some ongoing torturous in some way. The more trauma we had and the less loving parents we had, the more torturous this stuff is happening. If we were lucky to have less trauma, but everybody has some degree of trauma, and if our parents were more wise, then we still have this constant checked outness, you know, in some teaching is called daydreaming. So this sleep manifests as being checked out. Even as I talk now, we are going to check out. You're going to check out, go somewhere else. So you can verify this. Another aspect of this state of affairs is that we are getting identified with, we are lost in our experience. We identify with the endless stream of thoughts, and we are identified with feelings. We are lost in it, or we don't usually know. I mean, and I know some of you guys have done a lot of work, so we're doing a lot of work. You are in a different position. I'm talking more like globally now, where we start. Yeah, as a society, we are not taught what to do with our thoughts. We are not taught what to do with our emotions. So all of this happened to us, and it's scarred, so to say, our subconscious, and we develop so-called pain body. If you're familiar with Eckhart Tolle, pain body, the accumulation of suffering in our life in childhood, the accumulation of suffering from our parents, and the global suffering. Somehow this plays out in some, Eckhart Tolle is like some energy body that actually has thoughts and feelings, and so we have this suffering, as Buddha said, suffering in our system. So in order, we can't process this suffering if we are checked out. We can't endure the pain we don't want to feel, or in order to heal it, we need to feel it. So we can't do it if we are checked out and identified. We can't do it. Also, it's too much, and our system will dysregulate. It becomes like a so-called freaking out, and then. So that's why it's important to develop more our ability to witness, to jumpstart our so-called presence. They don't talk in psychology about this, but in spirituality, presence or awareness, I'm going to use terms like that here, presence or awareness, or consciousness, they all refer to that, whatever it is right now, which is aware of this image. You see Mihai, you hear sounds, is aware of stuff in your body. Maybe you have anxiety, maybe you have judgments. Awareness or consciousness is that which is aware right now. And that is in some kind of state of self-forgetting and is dormant somehow. So a lot of the work is to develop this ability to jumpstart this presence. So meditation, meditation is very recommended. So I will recommend you guys certain things, not just come here for a few hours once a week. That is not going to do much. I will recommend certain practices. And so meditation, 15, 20 minutes a day will be very good. Yeah. Now, in terms of meditation, there's a lot of meditation out there which is not what I have in mind. So I will do today, I will do a little bit of guided meditation, which is more along the lines of what I find it useful. Yeah. So there will be these practices and exercises and homework around being and developing the innate capacity to be present to what's happening and to be here and now and to witness. And this needs to be practiced. Okay, so this is one aspect. This is important because we can't go to our worst demons and to the shark tank of our childhood and our traumas and our beliefs because it's too much. We can't handle it. And also, so we need this ability. Also, this presence or awareness, if we invest in it, it's the ultimate nervous system regulator. You know, like when we so-called freak out or like get triggered, then we have our cognitive goes offline. So awareness and presence, meditation is the ultimate resource to regulate our nervous system. Yeah, so that's why Buddha said, take refuge in awareness, you know, take refuge in the present moment, take refuge in awareness. So that's what we are doing it. The other part of the work is to go and make our unconscious conscious. Basically, as Jung would say, we have to make our unconscious conscious. The unconscious is what actually drives our choices and our relationships, and what creates self-sabotage, and what brings up partners that are not good for us. Yeah, so the second part of the work, like shadow work or somatic processing, is bringing awareness and investigating and exploring this pain body, our pain body. Part of that work is to identify our core deficiency stories. I'm giving a background here. I'm not going to talk all the time, hopefully, and we're going to do some experiential work and sharing, but I just want to give a little context. Also, I'm just want to give you some taste here. So actually, this is a reminder for me. I don't want to go into too much information now. Hello. Yeah. You came for the circle? Yes. Okay. Welcome. All right. So I was. Yeah, right. So due to being raised in an unconscious society, and due to the fact our parents, they didn't have tools, and they had traumas, and they had all kind of problems, even the best of them. We were hurt, and then we developed certain stuff which created our pain body. So we developed this called the deficiency story, or core limiting belief, core deficiency story, some story about ourselves. So that's the basic entry into processing, is to, first of all, find out what those are for ourselves. And to give an example, what I mean by core deficiency story, this is something happened in our childhood, and the 3-year-old and the 6-year-old, the 4-year-old was like, okay, it must be that, and some message was formed there subconsciously. To give an example, everybody has it. I haven't met anybody. I mean, especially in the Western world. Yeah, something like along the lines that I'm unlovable, there's something wrong with me, I'm stupid, I'm not good enough, I am unworthy, there's something wrong with me. Then it goes into other things like I can't, other stories like it's not safe to be myself, I can't be myself, I have to be in a certain way, I have to hide, I have to lie, but also this I have to lie or hide is like because I'm not safe, I feel I'm not safe. It's not safe to express, it's not safe to ask for what I want, it's not safe to say no. I'm broken, you know, especially, yeah, people who have done some some work, and then they're done. They try, it didn't work. I'm broken. It's too late for me. Yeah. So these are all examples of deficiency stories. This is not just a story. This is there's a sense of identity. It's not like, oh, there's this story that I'm not good enough. No, it's like me, I'm not good enough. And this usually we don't have it consciously, although some of us we have it consciously, and it keeps telling us, it starts to tell us this consciously in the head. All of these, look at you, you never amount to anything, you are such a loser, or the voice becomes really nasty in our head. But some of us, we don't have the nasty voice, but it's still there somehow. So it's a sense of identity, and it's a story, but also it's in the body. It's in the body. It is there are layers and layers of feelings and memories and imprints. So it's not just a belief, you may even discover that belief, and you rationally realize that this is bullshit, but subconsciously we still believe it because it feels like that, and we felt this all our life. Then we attracted a partner that was an asshole or something, and then it confirmed, oh yeah, you see, I'm not worthy of love, you see. So entry level is to identify our deficiency stories that were formed with mommy and daddy, or absence of mommy and daddy, or group home, or wherever. We all have that. The next step is to, first of all, it's quite a bit of work to identify it, because it's kind of hidden and buried, and we are lost in he, she, or blame, or whatever. So to really identify it, and then basically the idea is to deprogram it. So I'm going to bring here a lot of tools how to do that. Also, a big part of our suffering is that what is called repression. This is, they talked a little bit about it with Freud and Jung, but then they didn't talk anymore in psychology much, and it's embarrassing from what I go. So basically, repression, which is different than suppression. Suppression is that you have a meeting with your boss or somebody, and you are pissed, or you have some feeling, you feel it, and then it's not appropriate, so I'm going to put it aside. Yeah, suppression. That is fine. That's not a big deal. What is, it becomes a big deal if it's a chronic, because it becomes chronic, some feeling comes, and some feeling of usually a feeling of the pain body comes, some feeling of yuckiness with unworthiness or something, and then we are squirming out of it, and so we are going, all the addictions or compulsions, whether they are legal or not, whether they are substance-based or activity-based, phone, dating, Tinder, porn, Netflix, spliffs, chocolate, love, seeking love, seeking. So all of these are some attempts to not feel yucky. And also, we haven't been taught what to do with these things, so we are pushing them away. We're pushing them away, so suppression. But repression is basically in our family of origin, as a little boy or girl, we understood that it's not okay to feel something like anger or sadness or fear or enthusiasm or love, or to be playful, joyful. We got the message somehow it's not okay to feel something, and it's definitely not okay to share it. It's not okay to share it. So it's not okay to feel anger. or it's not okay to say anything, to be angry, or it's not okay to feel or share sadness. It's not allowed to feel or share fear, or even not okay to feel love and affection, to share it. So there is an element of this. And we did that because, you know, whenever we were angry or some sad, some parent who had the same repression would say, hey, let me give you something to cry about, or hey, good boys don't do this, or hey, be strong, or hey, people in Africa are starving, there's nothing you can complain about. So somehow we noticed that if we allow this feeling and share it, then we're going to get some flack or something. So then we adapted early on to get love and approval. That's what we are, especially as kids, we are geared to get love and approval. And so we started to, so repression is that we don't even know we are doing it, basically. We don't even know we are doing it and it's happening. And now science caught up with it a little more. These programs of not being allowed to have anger or sadness or something, this sooner or later, you know, it goes, so basically it goes back in the box, it goes in the body, start to create chronic pain, weird ailments, immuno-related ailments, or cancer, or various things. Especially this, like this called the good boy shadow or good girl. They have to be nice, people pleasing, avoiding conflict, not okay to be angry. It goes somewhere in the organs, and then yeah. So that creates this stuff we don't like, that I need to manage now, either everyday chiropractic or weed or various things. So we are going to, I'll focus from the point of view of processing. I'll focus on identifying deficiency stories, and then starting to learn how to be with feelings. We haven't been, yeah. So that's the type of work that we are going to do. A lot of spiritual practices and stuff, new agey stuff, are actually making it hard for us to heal. Like there are many techniques, meditation techniques, spiritual techniques, all kind of techniques that as soon as I feel a little bad, I'm doing something to make it go away, which is just like a vodka or a spliff or whatever. You know, I'm enjoy weed, you know. So just like that, some of us were like, oh, okay, I have to tap right away because I don't want to feel this, or I'm saying a positive affirmation, or I'm engaging in some deep breathing, or I'm going to do some spiritual technique. Why? Because I don't like how this feels and I want to make it go away. These kind of practices are very, they are not good. I mean, they are good if you don't have anything better, because somehow you manage your suffering, and it helps, it's innocent, but at some point become a problem. So whatever practices we are going to learn here is more like to welcome the yuckiness and to be more and more awake to the yuckiness and to allow it. Also, what happens is that we have an unpleasant feeling, And so we have this strong mechanism that we have an unpleasant feeling or sensation, and then we don't want it. I don't want this. I don't want it. And so this is called resistance to the feeling. This is another feeling. So let's say there's some yuckiness. This is like 20%. Now I don't want this yuckiness. Now it's not 20%. Now I'm dealing with 40 grams or something. So yeah. All right. I don't want to go into much theory. Yeah. Also, some of you come from Kiloby inquiries. You are interested in these Kiloby inquiries. I'm also very interested in these Kiloby inquiries. So if you are not aware of this, for people for whom it's new, it's okay. Scott Kiloby is this guy, spiritual teacher, who also is one of the few spiritual, let's say, awakening, non-dual teachers who are actually very skilled in processing our shit rather than just transcending it. A lot of spiritual teachings, they are encouraging to, hey, let it go, just rise above it, transcend. Which there's truth in that, but you know, he's one of the teachers who is, hey man, let's bring it on. Let's process from awareness psychosomatically our pain body. And so I found this very, very effective for me. I use it the most with myself and others. So I will bring this Kiloby inquiries, KI, here, but it needs a little bit of preparation. So I take it slow, because this KI, it's like they are very powerful tools that are stirring things up, things that are hidden, they are stirring it up. And we have tried our life to make it go away. So we are not going to, our subconscious is not going to like that. So that's why I want first to establish a foundation of practice and some kind of resilience, and do it gradually. Yeah. So, but I'm definitely going to go into core tools. These are deprogramming tools from the Kiloby inquiries. What I like about the Kiloby inquiries is that they are meant to work on yourself by yourself. There's some element of, hey, okay, you have this kind of program. Like I can't be myself. I have, you know, some of my stuff, my programs. I'll give an example. Yeah, what I mean by programs from childhood. These are adapting to the childhood environment. That's how we get it. So it was a good thing. I adapted to that world. So that helped me to survive. We got them. Also, there's thing for osmosis. My dad had this, and my mom had this, and I got a transmission of it. Even like, although as I'm 14, I said to myself, I will never, ever be like that. I will never be like that. And then I am like that now, you know? So, okay, so, all right, programs. Give an example. Also, for a lot of my life, I've done spiritual work, like presence work, meditation, vipassana, hours, thousands of hours, transcending shit, stuff. with various degrees of, oh wow, this is like God, or it's peaceful, or some pleasure, but I didn't even know what I had. So a lot of spiritual practices and therapeutical practices, they don't get to the shit, to the suffering. So give you some example, my programs, that it's good to be very aware of this stuff, not to be vague, It's okay. I can't be myself. I can't be myself. I have to be in a certain way. This definitely comes up in relationship. Our childhood wounds and our childhood wounds, childhood yuckiness comes up the most when we are in a bonded relationship, like a wife or a partner. Any unresolved stuff from your childhood is going to show up there. So I can't be myself. I have to be in a certain way. The program of being nice. I have to be nice. Be nice. Be nice. Be good. Be nice. Be good. I have to hide. I have to hide. It's not safe. This is for safety. Don't feel. I mean, it took me a lot of time to discover these things. Don't feel. Don't feel. Also, if I look at this, it's like, see my dad, I see, the unit to surrender, feel. Don't feel, be strong. Be strong, don't feel, hide, be careful. I was raised this kind of communist, there was like oppression, and it was not less safe than it is now. And yeah, so these are programs. It's not safe to be vulnerable. Avoiding conflict, hard to say what bothers me. When I'm in a relationship with a woman, I get bored and I don't want to be with her. When I'm not with her, I miss her so much, I love you so much, I want to have you back. I come back to it, get bored, I want to be with her. So these are relationship patterns. So I'm just giving some example. In terms of repression, was definitely anger repression. Because I really didn't want to be like my dad. And also I put spiritual techniques on top. Sadness, grief repression. So we all have something like that. They're particularly painful and pernicious and very impactful. Also this, like, I'm not good enough, there's something wrong with me, I'm less than, this or that. So this is not a positive kind of group. like do this, and then there's a blue light coming on the side and the archangel. So it's not that. It's not that. I wouldn't trust that. So this is the path of like, hey, I want to get more awake, in order to be able to face my unconscious. And through the facing and bringing to the light of awareness, not just one time, multiple times, then those patterns will diminish. Also, through this witnessing meditative practices, if we are interested really in them and serious, what happens that we also have some type of awakening. This is used a lot these days, and it's kind of bullshit. But so what these teachings talk about awakening is finding out what we are. So becoming awake to our true nature, they call it in Buddhism, our true self. And talking about it doesn't cut it. Actually, people can say it doesn't cut it, but it needs to be said. So awakening is connected to some experiential verification that I am not my thoughts. The thoughts come to me, to my life, different thoughts. I'm not the thoughts. The feelings, I'm not the feelings. I'm not the sounds. We are kind of know that we are not the sounds. There was a wise man or woman said that if we could have the same attitude towards thoughts and feelings as we have towards sounds, you'll be like the Zen master. Because we know the sounds, they come, they go, I don't resist it, it doesn't mean anything about me. It comes and goes, I'm not sticking to it. But we are sticking and fighting with our mind, with our body. Okay, so awakening is some kind of experiential verification that there is more here than thoughts and feelings. There is this presence, and I am this presence. This is some beginning. The more we go there, that brings some relief. That brings a lot of relief. A lot of our shit diminishes. We are less checked out. And however, that is not enough to clean up deep wounds and traumas. So there needs more specialized kind of technology. That's why maybe some of you went to some retreat somewhere, you meditated for a long time, and it was great for a few days. Then some trigger happened, somebody said something, things are coming back. All right. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys heard of Ken Wilber. Ken Wilber is a very wise man. He's still alive. He was like a scholar, Buddhist scholar. I wouldn't recommend to read his books because they're very thick and very, very thick. Very thick. I couldn't do it, but he's still very, very wise. And he has this concept of integral consciousness or integral path is to these 3 lines of work. To wake up. Wake up is connected to being less checked out, and let's identify with the mind and more in the present. And also going deeper with that, waking up is to what I said, waking up that we are this presence, not the body, not the mind. Yeah, this is one element, waking up. Another element is cleaning up, waking up, cleaning up. Cleaning up is to make the unconscious conscious and to look at all this stuff. Yeah, like our shadow beliefs, our hidden things that we pushed in the basement. Yeah, cleaning up is more connected to processing our past. The third one is growing up, waking up, cleaning up, growing up. These 3, they need to happen. The guy, what he's saying, they don't need to happen, but like a more full evolutionary path is to work on all of these 3 levels. Waking up, connected to consciousness practices, witnessing, stuff like that. Cleaning up, processing our wounds and deficiency stories and traumas and repression. Growing up, it's I guess being more mature, developing certain talents and gifts. We're all here, everybody has some talent and some gifts, and because of deficiency stories and being asleep, we don't know what that is, or we are afraid to bring it on. I guess integrity is growing up. Integrity, a sense of mission, a sense of emotional intelligence, stuff like that. You see, I mean, you hear often sometimes some great master who wrote some amazing book and has many followers, and then there's some scandal where he fucks some people over, or he's like totally other side comes out, and you're like, dude, what the fuck? How can it be? He's so awake. I mean, anyway, that's the thing, is that you can have waking up. There's this some major opening of consciousness. However, the shit in the basement is not looked at, and that's going to stink. And then also the person may believe that, oh, I have attained this state, I'm all done, I'm good, I'm finished. So that's why we have scandals, teachers that didn't clean up or stuff like that. All right.